Everybody, we're at Sargent Beach here during Hurricane Beryl, man, and it's probably one of the most intense winds I've seen in a long time. I've been in 4 major hurricanes. This seems like a heck of a lot more than 80 miles an hour. Trust me.
There he is. That was Mike Boylan last year in the middle of Hurricane Beryl. Remember that one? Mike's a storm chaser and the blogger behind Mike's weather page. He's got millions of followers, and hopefully they're watching right now because, Mike, we'll have you back on a Wednesday afternoon. It's great to talk to you one more time. And we're looking at that video, and I was watching some of them before. You tend to get yourself in a pickle sometimes, right? Tell me about some of those past storms you're talking about.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's, you know, I'm a rookie when it comes to storm chasing, that's for sure. Beryl last year was interesting. We got stuck on this bridge in Sargent Beach, and, you know, daytime came, and the road that we came in on was completely gone. It was 2-3 foot underwater. We were basically stranded for 9 hours. That was a wild story.
Yeah, really,
for sure.
So how did that happen?
Well, you know, we were searching the storm Beryl, and that looked like the most impactful spot with the winds. Mm-hmm. And that bridge, I guess, is a famous corkscrew bridge, very high. And we went on the other side of it, and the beach was pretty much gone. So we're like, okay, we'll go back on the other side. And when we went back on the other side, the surge was coming in on that side. And then when daylight came, we were like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and there's some of that video there. It was incredible. It was a Cat 1, but the angle was at the perfect angle for storm surge. And there was that road that we came in on. It was gone.
Yeah, and tell me your thoughts. When you see that happen, what were your thoughts? You're like, okay, I'm going to learn from this and possibly reposition myself for the next storm.
Well, yeah, the bridge got me some footage that I didn't plan on. But the 2 things I learned, one is when you got to go to the bathroom, you don't think about that. We basically had 9 hours up there on that bridge. and 2, we had a flight out of Houston. And, you know, I had stuff to do back at home. I was getting a little panicky, like, how long are we going to have to wait this out, you know?
Yeah, Mike, definitely don't do it in the wind. I can tell you that right now. So that was Beryl. Well, what about Ian? You were with the intense rising waters. You actually saw roads flooded out with this one. This is a little closer to home for you, too. Yeah,
that was a little more scary. Beryl, I didn't feel that unsafe. Just I knew it was going to take a lot of time to get out of there. But Ian was incredible. You know, there's Rotunda West image there. I took a journey about 2-3 in the afternoon. You know, that was the storm. It never seemed like it was going to end. And we kind of got ourselves stuck in this area. The water was coming up, fresh water flooding. Started seeing a lot more debris flying through the air. I started worrying about my tires, you know, driving over debris. Getting back to a safe spot, and that was a little hairy. That was, you know, mid-afternoon, and I didn't know if that was Gulf surge or freshwater surge. It was just kind of like one way in, one way out. A couple of the roads were, you know, totally impassable, and found one exit, and we barely made it out, and we went to higher ground and rode the rest of the storm out.
Yeah, that's when you realize, all right, there's a lot of debris on a road. It's fix-a-flat. You need to have that can with you in your truck.
I have a lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. So that was 2022. That was Ian. The year before that was Ida, right? And you were stranded in a hotel chasing that one.
Yeah, I was solo on that trip, and I learned one thing. Now I go see my dad and get the old Rand McNally road maps because I had no idea where I was going. Louisiana roads are long. There's a lot of marsh. I was racing the eye, approaching, and I really didn't know where to go, and I didn't have a plan. I was, you know, kind of new at this, and ended up pulling into this La Quinta hotel, and they rushed me in. You know, the doors were locked, and they were like, come in. As soon as I got in, it was still Category 4, and basically, I was in this hotel with a lot of locals, and there was a lot of panic. You know, there was an hour-long stream that I did that I pretty much documented the whole time that the storm approached us. And you could hear the wind. You could hear air conditioners blowing out of, you know, the rooms. There was windows crashing. The house next to us, the roof ripped off. There was a family in there, and they wouldn't let anybody out because, you know, it was unsafe. And it was a very tenseful hour or two as this storm approached, and just hearing the sounds and just not knowing, you know, you didn't really know what was happening outside of you.
Yeah, and that was one of your first ones you chased too, right? And you're talking about a Category 4, man.
Yeah, and this is another one that seemed like it intensified. You know, we got that brown water effect. Yeah. We see it in Florida, the swamps there. It's another storm that slowed down and just hung out, you know, and you know, one thing I think with that storm I didn't realize is the next morning when I started driving around is you see that damage, and you see those huge trees, and you see the building, you know, the damage, and you just don't realize that that's happening all around you, and that could have been, me. We were in a safe, luckily, hotel, but and then the power going out the next morning. I remember the Lake Pontchartrain there at Laplace was underwater. The surge, it was, at the moment you don't really realize what's going on around you until the next day, and then you're like, wow, like that was happening,
Yeah, you realize the scope. I mean, it's just that one block that was wiped out by a tornado. It's the entire half of your state essentially that just goes under, which is awful. Hey, real quick before I let you go, Mike, we get your thoughts on this 10% shot of maybe some development across northern Gulf. We've both been following this now for the last couple of days. What are your thoughts on this guy?
It's so deja vu, right?
Yes.
Spinning around that high pressure, and like you mentioned before, there is a little window. I think it's a little farther south and a little more time in that Gulf. Maybe time isn't on its side. That's number one, and the pressures. I mean, the pressures are so high, so tropical systems take time. But what I got my eye on is the following week. They got that little area marked in red now, that we might have a third repeat pattern around this big high pressure that's coming. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Isn't that amazing?
So we're stuck in this pattern.
Yeah,
totally.
It looks like a giant washing machine, right? You look at this thing. Okay, here goes 93L. There goes the energy up and around. It reforms, comes back as this new 10%. And then you're right. Next week we could do it again. Man, oh man.
Groundhog Day, man. We all grew up with that, right?
We did, yeah, absolutely.
We're living in real time.
Man, deja vu all over again, as we say with the Yankees fans here, Yogi Berra. But Mike, thanks so much for joining me again.
Yeah,
next week we're going to have some more stuff to talk about. Most likely another area of circulation we'll be following, probably in the northern Gulf. Hey, who's the guy? Who's that guy?
Give him his first. That's our new little puppy. So he's a future superstar. So you saw him first.
Oh, I love it. What's his name?
Longo.
All right.
So
I love it.
He'll be my traveling partner here in the years ahead.
So great. Mike, great to talk to you, my friend. Open invite anytime you want. Wednesday afternoons, you seem to work for us. Let's do it up, buddy.
Bob, see you next week.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you.